everyone. Ciao Said, ciao Sara,
Ciao.
and welcome to Ordinary Caffè. Today we have the honor to have as our guest Monica from the fourth floor, Tenerife.
The fourth floor.
And also, it's been also great to have you here for the first time because we didn't have the chance to have a proper talk with you. We
Thank
work
you.
into different floors. We have
Yes.
we know each other, but never talk actually about ourselves. So this is the first time officially.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We are very happy, and today we're going to talk about vulnerability and insecurities, which is a huge topic and very important for us because I think that we all have insecurities and it's good to admit them. That's why the first question for you that I would like to ask you is if you, of course, maybe you had insecurities in your life, but if you have ever felt like vulnerable, and in which moment of your life, or if you still feel this emotion.
Yeah, of course. Insecurities is something that everybody has experienced in some moment of their lives, and it's something that I think it is ongoing. The moment when I felt the most insecure was when I was a teenager, also because when it's a moment when you are still developing, you're still getting to know yourself, you're still discovering a lot of things. And what made it worse for me was that I had a hypothyroidism, which is a disease that affects the thyroid, and the thyroid affects all the hormonal system. So I had a lot of changes with the hormones, and these impacted in my life because I had also changes in my body, not just like my hair was thinner, my skin went very bad, I had water retention, so it was passing through that and all the changes that you already have in the teenage years that made me more insecure and made it more difficult in these years.
And what you did, like when you realized that these things, like okay, you are super young and you have these insecurities, but when was the moment that you realized that you had to do something to kind of be more confident with yourself, because there is a moment, or maybe it didn't happen and you still have these kind of insecurities because, for example, I had my insecurities too about my body and everything, but I had a moment in my life that I was like, okay, I need to deal with them and I need to accept myself. So what I would like to ask is, like, have you dealt with your insecurities or?
The truth is that I'm still dealing with them, but it does help that you accept yourself the way you are, and also understanding what's happening. Because at that time I didn't know I had a disease. I didn't know what was happening to me. It was something normal, like I'm just passing through these teenage years, and that's what happens. But it was actually not my case. One day I went to the doctor because I was feeling very, very tired. Like fatigue is also another symptom of the hyperthyroidism. And I was like sleeping a lot, like 8 hours a day. And also after lunch, I needed 2-hour naps. And it was like, this is not normal at all. Like, how am I so tired all the time? I don't have energy at all. So I went to the doctor. Of course, the doctors many times say that everything's normal, but I insisted this is not normal. I'm not feeling normal at all. Like something's happening. And well, I had a blood test, and that's when they told me you have hypothyroidism. So these helped me understand. There's a reason behind. It's not just my teenage years. It's not these. So it has. We can treat it. And I started with a medicine. It's thyroxine. I think it's called. Actually, I don't know in English. Thyroxina. Yeah. And that kind of stabilized my hormone system. And also that helps because everything starts stabilizing, but But again, it's something that you are still dealing with, and throughout the years, you learn to accept yourself, to deal with what you're living, and also what I think it helps is doing what you like. For example, I discovered swimming, diving, hiking, doing workout because also it releases endorphins and that makes you happy. And I think like kind of finding the happiness is what, and accepting yourself is kind of what is going to help you go through most of insecurities. Of course, it does in my experience, and everyone deals with insecurities in different ways.
Have you ever thought, for example, that those insecurities or whatever has affected your choices in life, your path?
Yes, of course. Actually, when I started high school, I was fine. When I started high school, I mean, I've always been athletic, so I was in my normal. I don't want to say normal because it's not.
No, but normal. It's
But also,
let's say normal, yeah. But even we don't like it.
No, yeah, not normal. I mean, I was in the way that I had always been since I was born, and so I was like that. I was fine with what I was until I started with these changes, and that's when I started feeling bad. Yeah, I think it's also what you're used to, and then a change comes. Then you start feeling it also because of the people, how the people treat you, and then you start like enclosing. Well,
getting introverted.
yeah, like getting introverted, just wanting to escape from the world, not wanting to see the mirrors as well, not wanting to be in front of cameras, no pictures. Yeah, not doing things, not doing what I like, not having the confidence to.
So you regret something that you didn't do in the past for this insecurity?
Yes, like for example, studying some things or just being myself, just not speaking to people, so probably I missed opportunities there.
Social.
Yes, exactly. But also you learn from that. Yes, you learn from that, and at least now I am taking the knowledge of those years and trying to do things that I haven't done.
You're putting that now, the case will be now, you're in front of the cameras, you're talking to people, so something you didn't do before.
I would have never done this years in the past, never.
You see, but from this I have also a question. Maybe it's more personal, so I don't know. But have you later on, when you discovered this and you started to deal with this, have you like asked for help? Because there is a moment that because you need to be brave to ask for help for everything, because vulnerability is also being encouraged to ask for help, to admit our vulnerabilities and insecurities. So my question is, if you ever ask for help to someone else, it can be a friend, a therapist, or you did it by yourself.
No, actually I did. I went to therapy also because, well, it's that, like, if it affects you, if it affected my social life, and if it affects you, the way you are being also, I mean, it's not just that you are more introvert. Also, in my case, I was more irritated with everything. I was angry with life. I was angry I didn't know what was happening to me, so I was angry at everything. So yes, actually my family told me you should you should ask for help, because yes. So yes, I went to therapy, and this helped.
Even though like it's not easy, as I said, it's a sign of like courage, because going there, sitting with a person that you don't know and talking about your insecurities, it's huge. Have you ever had?
Yeah, I had therapy. Therapy as well.
Oh, because you had insecurities.
No, I had insecurity in the past. I was introverted, but I didn't have hypotherapy. I was like this, so I wasn't that extroverted like I am now. I become like, a 16-year-old when I got 30. It's something that I got like my middle age crisis at 30. So I became like, how was I supposed to be then?
Yeah.
Now. But it's a good thing. And also about the therapy, I think that it's a good thing that your family suggested that, because in Italy
Yes.
still there's a misconception about therapy.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that, and I think like people sometimes people think that it may seem that you are crazy, but you're not. It's not like that.
People still think
Not
that.
like that. Not that we are improving in this,
Yeah.
hopefully, because nowadays things are changing.
It's low.
But people, it's not just about being crazy, but people think that you need to have a problem to go to the therapist, which is something that I really disagree with, because we all need to go to once in our life, and you may like it or don't, but it's something that we really need. And also I think about this nowadays being vulnerable. Yes. It's also about how society is putting the specific image. I don't know like now exactly the name in English, but this prototype of image that you need to have to be perfect, and that
Exactly.
what is being perfect like having vulnerabilities for
It's
me is
normal.
perfect.
It's normal at
You
all.
know?
Everybody has one. So sometimes you don't accept that. Even if you, for example, the way that you were
Yes.
angry with yourself or
Yes.
with the world, because you weren't accepting maybe your weakness.
Exactly.
This is the thing. So this is the worst thing. And I think that also like therapy, and also like you can go over this thing even without therapy if you are like that strong sometimes, because there's people who like cannot go over it in the time. There's people who can get, do it by themselves or with other people. This is the thing. But yeah, the weakness in our society are pretty much like a taboo sometimes, I would say.
Yeah, oh, we have a lot of taboo, but like it's we can talk about like all of the taboo, but this is one of them. And now how your life is changed, like now that you realize like what is it, like how you deal with this now.
Yes, nowadays, well, with the hypothyroidism, I overcame it by having the medication that I need every day. And well, I also have rosacea. It's like, oh my God. But with these, I just have to accept it. Like rosacea is a disease of the skin. So I just have to accept that sometimes I'm gonna have it well, some days I'm not, and just relax and just think, well, whatever. Everybody has something. Everybody, so just accept it. Yes.
This thing is funny because we started with Clara's the first episode with society, but every topic that we're having more or less is related to society, because they're not accepting, for example, the skin problem or being introverted or whatever. It's related to society more or less. It's not to be redundant, but it's what it is. So it's strange. I realize that now, to be honest. I realize that in this moment.
No, it's true. Like mental health, there are a lot, but of course everything is society, because we are living in a society. We are living with people. If people they see as a problem, let's say a skin problem, a mental health illness or whatever, so we are not progressing in this.
No.
But since that's why when I talk about bravery.
Braveness.
Bravery.
Coraggio. Who wants to understand
How is it in Spanish?
Valentía, coraje.
Yes. That's why I mean this is important, because you have to admit and you have to accept that.
Exactly.
And get over everything.
Yeah. But I think we are in the last part of our episode.
And the question is about your weakness. About your weakness. The way you approach them, the way you fight them every day. You would give an advice to the people who still have this problem. I don't know, I'm just finding the word now. About this weakness, advice to how to get over it, how to approach them, how to get over in life with living with those.
Well, I would say just accepting it, being happy about it, or not being happy about it, but just accept it and try to do things that you like and you enjoy, and yeah, that's what has been helping me.
And every day you feel that you accepted them, or some days you don't?
No. Some days I struggle.
Okay.
Some days I struggle.
It's easy for everybody. It's easy to give advice, but the first one who's not following that advice, it's yourself.
Of course,
So,
but this is completely normal. This
Yeah.
is part of life. Like it's like you can't be every day happy.
It wouldn't be normal.
Are you happy every day of your life?
No.
I know.
She knows. When I come to work, okay, there's some sort of black humor jokes that I cannot say, but
Yeah. No, I agree. It's not happy to be happy every day.
no. This is it. And also, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, it's strange, but the thing is, it's getting into my mind. The pressure that you feel every day to be happy, the pressure that you feel every day to be perfect. But actually, who cares on how you look? It's more you do thinking that everybody else is looking at you, but nobody's doing that.
I agree.
For example, you get out of your house with a broken shoe. Especially here, nobody cares about how you dressed, how you
Yeah,
look.
it's true.
This is the thing. Sometimes we are like making ourselves our problems that we don't need.
I totally agree. Yes.
Yes, but it was really nice to have this conversation, and you were really, again, brave to share this with us because it's not common. And thank you, Monica, really, for being us in this episode of Ordinary Caffè. Thank you, Roberto.
I needed
Thank you,
this
Tahir,
conversation.
as always. And thank you all to watching this episode of Ordinary Caffè, and see you next time.